So did the latest Star Wars Rebels episode shatter a very popular theory about who Rey is? Be careful of spoilers, guys, because I'm going to talk about this season of Star Wars Rebels and specifically the latest Twin Suns episode. So there are plenty of Rey theories going around. Obviously that she is Luke Skywalker's daughter, also that she is Han and Leia's daughter, and those both have their pros and cons. But one of the most profound theories out there is that she is a Kenobi, specifically the granddaughter of Obi-Wan Kenobi. Yeah, much too unlikely to actually be his daughter because, well, he was alone on Tatooine. But the theory is that he had a relationship with Satine in the Clone Wars and that she secretly had a child. Obi-Wan didn't know about it, and then that child began to have more offspring, and that Rey is actually the granddaughter of Obi-Wan. And one of the things, it's a fantastic theory, but one of the things that led some credibility to this was in episode Visions and Voices, where we first see Maul with the Darksaber again in Star Wars Rebels. Above the Darksaber, Maul has a shrine that looks like it's a shrine to Satine. And if you looked at that, you might have thought, well, Maul has, something to say about Satine. There's something going on with Satine. Now, we know Maul killed Satine in the Clone Wars as a way to hurt Obi-Wan, because Obi-Wan had feelings for her. But it seemed like if Satine had Obi-Wan's child and Obi-Wan didn't know about it, that would have been some information that was incredibly valuable to Maul, and he would have used that to hurt Obi-Wan. And perhaps that was the purpose of this shrine. So, which brings us to Twin Suns. I had speculated that if this theory was true, if Rey was indeed a Kenobi, we would get some credibility towards that rumor by when Maul confronts Obi-Wan Kenobi, that he would mention Satine. He would somehow mention a bloodline, or that he would give some hint, a very gentle hint, that Obi-Wan might have had children without him knowing. But that didn't happen. The duel happened. There was no mention of Satine, no mention of anything that could be construed to, as Obi-Wan having children or even grandchildren. There was nothing of that whatsoever. So I think this potentially puts to rest the theory that Rey is a Kenobi. I'm not saying it's absolutely impossible, but I think if it was going to happen, we would have seen something, something teased in Twin Suns. So, which brings me to my theory. My theory is that Rey is a Skywalker. Now, the Star Wars is a Skywalker story. The saga films are the Skywalker story. It makes sense that she would be a Skywalker. Other theories make sense too, but this is my theory. But while I think that she is a Skywalker, I don't believe she is Luke or Leia's child. Now, how could she be a Skywalker if she's not Luke or Leia's child? Well, there's several different ways. And one of the reasons also is, do you remember that one of those first Star Wars Episode 7 trailers where Luke Skywalker is giving the speech about the Force is strong in my family, I have it, my sister has it, you have that power too? It certainly, if you go back to the original intent, it seems like they're leading you to believe that she is absolutely a Skywalker, that she is part of his family. So I think there's a couple of ways that she could be a Skywalker without being Han or Leia's child and without being Luke's child. And one is, the first and most likely, I think, is that she is a clone from Luke's hand. And the reason I think this is the lightsaber was found. It stands to reason that the hand may have been found also. This would be kind of a nod to Heir to the Empire, where they actually did clone Luke directly. But it's possible to use that DNA and create a female instead of the male. As evident, have you seen Logan? Have you heard of X-23? It's certainly done in fiction. So I think that is an absolute possibility that she could be the female clone or based on Luke's DNA. The other one is that she's another clone, is that she was cloned from Anakin, from his remains. We know that the helmet survived. It's possible that there might have been just a sliver of DNA left at the moon of Endor after Vader's remains were burned. that is a lesser theory. And then the third option is, with her being a Skywalker, is that she was created through the Force in the same manner that Anakin was created. We may learn a little bit more about how that process happened. It's possible that maybe Snoke or someone else that's yet to be revealed also had a hand in that. It's, you know, I don't have a whole lot of evidence for this one. So this one's just more of an idea rather than a solid theory. But I think the first two, you know, being a clone of Luke or a clone of Anakin, is the more likely one. So that's where I stand right now. But I want to know what you think. Do you think the Kenobi theory did you ever think the Kenobi theory was a credible theory? And if so, do you think Maul not saying anything to Obi-Wan played a part in either laying that theory to rest, or do you think it has nothing to do with that theory? That theory still stands on its own feet. What do you think? I would love to hear about it. And if you haven't already, check out my other videos, and I would love it if you would subscribe and like this video and leave a comment, and check me out on Crabbok.com as well. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a great day.